David.
What?
I noticed that sometimes people do a really narrow downward dog stance, and some people do a really wide downward dog stance. What are the benefits?
Well, you have a choice to make. And the narrow stance is, I would say, it's safer, and you can really feel the grounding of the legs more easily. But the longer stance, it's a little bit more dicey. It's like kind of on the edge. You have to root back to get into your legs. But the reward is you elongate your spine more, like vertebra by vertebra. Let me show you. Okay, so with the narrower stance, you can shift back into your legs, and it's just very stable and kind of safe. But the longer stance, it requires more work to transfer the weight back. So it's kind of more dynamic. You have to press your hands into the earth and then root back through the thighs. The reward is, though, from the tail to the head, the spine lengthens.
Okay, and then energetically, what are you looking for in this pose?
You're looking for grounding your limbs as the catalyst to elongating your spine from the base of the pelvis, and that's where the energy is. So this is where the Shakti sleeps, and you're trying to awaken that energy, the flow of prana along your spinal column. So downward dog, that's what's happening. That's why you're rooting back. You're planting your hands, bracing your arms, rooting back through the legs in order to get here, down at the base, and get the energy to awaken and flow along your spinal column. So we call that Sushumna, the main pranic axis. And this is also where downward dog is a natural Uddiyana Bandha pose. So it gives you that kind of hollowed out belly, and that again helps the energy wake up at the base and move along your spinal column. So downward dog is an amazing Kundalini awakening pose. It's such a nice combination of things. So it's kind of a forward bend, but also a back bend and an inversion. And so it's very compelling pose to stay in and become absorbed in. And we know that absorption is samadhi, the eighth limb of yoga, right? So there's downward dog is a perfect samadhi-inducing pose. So stay there for some time. Grow still. Work with the breath and the energy, and clear your mind of all extraneous thought. So I personally prefer the longer stance, and the way that feel with the grounding of the limbs and the lengthening of the spine. But variety is your friend. You don't always have to do it the same, right? You mix it up. And ultimately, what's so beautiful about it is the choice is yours.